So these are issues where I go in to run the open invoices report. There's a bunch of invoices that have payments that were never applied to invoices, have credits that were never applied to invoices. Now what I can do is go into troubleshooting accounts receivable. This gives me when I highlight a customer, it allows me to see any payments that haven't been applied to any invoices that are sitting outstanding for that customer. So I can link them just by checking them off over here and choosing apply and then save it, and it will clear it out in that screen. I don't have to go back into receive payments for the customers to clear those out. Those will all be in those screens. And I can do that for deposits as well. So if you clicked on that tab, that would be if there were any deposits and they went directly to income and they had a customer name next to it. This will let you know if any payments were supposed to be in that deposit. Okay? The only thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't let you know if you've got invoices and deposits. Okay? So what that situation is that the client's gone in and put in these invoices, but then when they went and did the bank rec, they just forced deposits into the check register so they could do the reconciliation, and that went to income as well. So you've got invoices out there and income, so you've been hit twice with income. This isn't troubleshooting that issue, so you'll still have to go outside of this tool to look for that. Oh, this shows you the undeposited funds issue. So if I have undeposited funds and I had a deposit for that customer, those would all be linked together too.
But this works if you assign a customer to it, right?
Yes, if you assign a customer.
If they put deposits in with no customer, then
it's not going to show up.
It's not going to show up.
Right. This is just one-to-one relationship with the customer.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Right. In 2010. Right.
Yeah, they can't agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can only imagine what they've done in 1 year with this, they never make any guarantees of what they're going to, come out with every year, but they definitely take all that feedback, and that's why they have accountants on the teams to help them with this. And it's amazing. When we started this project, I never thought in a million years they'd be able to accomplish what they've accomplished, because it didn't seem like something you could, do in a software to fix this, and it's really neat. So this is just to remind you that you should run the AR aging to do your write-offs and bad debt, so that's just a checklist item. The other thing on here is your accounts payable. Same issue as accounts receivable. You have open vendor bills. You have bill payments that weren't applied together. Okay, they never checked off the box for the bill payment. So here, if I highlight a vendor, I can apply a check to a bill. Now, I caveat this, okay? So this is a situation, same thing as invoices, but on the reverse, is that I've gone into my register to reconcile or to make payments to vendors, and I just cut them manual checks. But someone else had entered in a vendor bill to that same vendor. So they didn't apply that check to the bill because they didn't go through the bill payment screen. And when they got the warning message, do you want to apply this to a bill, they still ignored it, okay? So they just created their manual checks through this. So this is saying that you can now apply a check to a bill. Almost, okay? And the reason I say that, and this is still your fix, this is how you'd have to fix it anyways, is that if you saw that you've got all these open bills sitting in the system for Cal Gas and Electric, let's say, okay? You go into the bank register and you see a bunch of checks to Cal Gas and Electric, and you know they had to have paid those bills. What you're going to do yourself is go in and change the coding of each check that's been reconciled. So those checks are already reconciled on the bank reconciliation, so they might have already charged it to gas and electric. You don't want that because this bill is sitting out there for gas and electric. Rather than deleting anything or voiding anything or having to re-reconcile, if you just go into the check that's been reconciled and recode it to accounts payable. So you're going to change it from gas and electric to accounts payable for that vendor. Then the check will pop up in the screen, and you can apply the check to the bill, and it's cleared out of the system. And no longer do you have double expenses hitting the system.
So it only shows up on that screen though if it's already coded to accounts payable?
Correct. So this check will not show up if it's coded to utilities. Yeah. So what you're going to see here is when you troubleshoot in here, you're going to see all these open bills, and you're going to be like, I know they had to have written checks. So then if you run the vendor report for Cal Gas and Electric or do a quick report, you'll get all the checks. You can double click through all them, change them to accounts payable, come back,